This is to give you an example of how a cylinder looks. A 98cc cylinder will look on the stock uncut case. And what I want to show you is the boost port on this larger cylinder, which is right here. That is the boost port. And as you can see, that the boost port channel for the stock cylinder is way too small. If you use that, your boost port is going to be starving it because it's not going to get enough. So what I do is I cut a line from the top of this case and I go diagonally down, right down to here, so that you get as much flow as you can into the cylinder. I can explain it like this. Suppose we have a room full of air right here. This whole room is 25 feet wide. And we have this one door here open. Okay, the flow of air does not equal how much air is in this room. The flow of air only equals how much goes through that opening. Therefore, you can have a huge carburetor and a little tiny opening into the cylinder, and your fuel flow or airflow is only going to be as big as that opening or that door. That's standard physics, the way I understand them. So you can see right here, we have this huge room where we're going to need a lot of juice getting up in that boost port. The boost port's right there in the back. What the boost port does is it pushes the gas and the old gas out the exhaust right here. Therefore, the boost port should match the boost channel. Right here should match the diameter of the or area of the whatever cylinder boost port you're using. And then of course, as you can see what I've done over here, right here, if that cylinder were put on top of this case, you can see where half of it, that's half the boost port right there. But the fuel comes in from right here and then goes all the way up this channel. So the channel has got to be the same size. The channel cannot be this little tiny dinky deal. Then what I like to do is, let me explain one thing. Got to back up here, my head's kind of foggy. When you use your crank and you try and work with your bearings, and when you get close, you'll get real close. It'll seem like it won't work, and then it just drops right in like magic. But what you want to do is, after you make your measurements, you want to take your bearing out. Come on. Like that. And if I do it too much, that's going to fall off. So you want to take your bearing out and you want to keep it clean. It's a dummy bearing, but still, you don't want to have a lot of crap in it. You don't want to be using your Dremel or whatever tool you're using with this in there. Another thing too is you want to stay away from that bearing race. Now this had a spun bearing in it, and I'll tell you what, I put a little JB weld and it worked fine because I don't have a machine shop that can fix it, and I'm not going to pay a guy more than the bike's worth to fix it. But if you look real close, everything is shiny around here except for this one spot, which is right there. You can see where the JB weld has stuck to the side of the bearing race. And what that means is that that area right there was low. That's where it was spinning at. And JB Weld works. JB Weld is a epoxy for those not in the United States, and I don't know if they sell it anywhere else. But after you keep working on this, then you'll come back and you'll drop your bearing, your dummy bearing in again, and you'll put your crank in there and check it. And you may have to do it 20, 30, 40, 50 times. It doesn't matter. It's not that much as far as matter is concerned. And then when we get done with that, we want to make sure that we take all these cases and wash them really good. You don't want to get any aluminum dust accidentally stuck in the bottom of that well, that oil plug well, and having to come out when you're trying to start the motor. Then what we want to do is we want to match. These are the intakes for the cylinder, the boost ports that match the case. Now, one thing about these is every one of these cylinders is different. Their boost ports are a little bit different shaped. Therefore, it's good to, when you put your gaskets on, is to make sure you cut your gaskets so they're going to fit the opening. Well, let's see. I don't have the other deal with me right now. You want to make sure that they fit so you got a good flow. And that may be it for videos today because I don't feel too well. But that's where we are on building the stroker from scratch. A 98cc is I would say it's a very good stroker to start on. And of course, once you get your stroker all set up, you can go 98cc or down. Probably mini stroker or whatever you want to do.